I personally have always struggled with social media just because I noticed it brought up a lot of unpleasant emotions and thoughts that I did not want to have or allow for them to continue to grow, such as the need of comparison, the feeling of jealousy, insecurity, and the desire of validation and approval from others. All of this ultimately left me with anxious feelings. And so I decided to delete my Instagram in 2023 after I had graduated college. I stopped posting and utilizing Facebook as much as I used to. And that left me with a sense of still wanting to have some sort of social media so I can be in the loop of things, pop culture, still get some information. And that is when I decided to download TikTok. Instantly, I was obsessed with TikTok. It truly was an entertaining platform. The algorithm caters to your own interests, and thus it is very addicting to scroll for hours watching content that you actually enjoyed. Aside from the entertainment aspect of this app, there were also meaningful conversations that were being had there. It had opened my eyes to the current social issues we were experiencing as a country, such as high rate of unemployment, our economy, mental health issues, the increase of AI, and inappropriate content that are becoming a lot more normalized. This app was addicting because it gave you entertainment, it gave you information, and ultimately a sense of community. Community is a huge piece we are all missing in our personal lives. The last time some of us may have experienced a sense of community could have been during high school or college. In a lot of ways, this app reconnected us as a society. It revealed our common humor while also unveiling the dark issues that are occurring in our country that, quite frankly, we are not supposed to acknowledge. The ban of TikTok is uncovering a bigger issue that many of us are starting to dissect. However, given how complex our world is, I'm not sure how quickly we are able to discover the true reasoning behind this ban. Now, let's dive into the positive and negative effects of TikTok. Some of the positive effects of TikTok is, number one, the financial income and opportunities. This app has allowed for many ordinary people to grow an audience and ultimately lead them to some amazing opportunities in which they can profit from. Number two, creativity and entertainment. There are so many ordinary people who have incredible talents, whether that's dancing, singing, acting, and/or building. Whatever it may be, we got to witness that. And we got to see many ordinary people living regular lives, yet embracing a part of themselves that perhaps they may not have been able to showcase anywhere else. Number three, education. Many of us were consuming our news through other creators who not only informed us in a quick manner, but also dissected the hidden implications of a breaking news story. There were so many people who thought critically and analytically about social issues, and they were communicating that in a digestible manner. We were being exposed to information that we are not able to receive from other platforms because it was not information that was controlled by our government. It took the blinds from our eyes because we started to realize our current struggles are common among other individuals, and we are all saying the same things. This is not supposed to be life, and this is not living, which brings me to my next point. TikTok connected us in ways in which the people from the higher social class and our government could not relate to. I would go as far as to say the middle and lower class created a community where we could joke about our own struggle or joke about these celebrities that are so out of touch with what is occurring in our society. But now, did you really think the higher ups would just sit there with their arms crossed and let this happen? No, of course not. So this is where I dive into the negative effects of TikTok. Number one, the illusion being sold to the youth. Although it is amazing and inspiring to see so many people elevate themselves financially and socially because of this app, we do see the cracks within our society. Because what do you mean the content creator can be earning more money than a nurse or a construction worker? This pay gap is unjust and unfair regardless of who it benefits, because it gives the impression that it really is that easy to succeed. As someone who works as an admissions counselor at a university, I have heard several conversations from younger generations who do not want to pursue higher ed because they see that you can also succeed on social media. Yes, that is true. One can succeed without the need for college, but the problem here is that younger generations want to become viral on social media by just making 60 seconds videos of doing their makeup or creating silly videos. So they can end up earning a huge amount of financial income without doing labor work. I want to reiterate that the issue here is that the earning wages are not distributed fairly amongst our society because it does not benefit our capitalistic society. If we have someone like Kim Kardashian, a billionaire selling an item to consumers, which happen to be the middle and lower class people, they have to purchase these items that are being sold, correct? Then capitalism wins. The irony here is many of us are barely financially surviving, yet we are being influenced into buying expensive, unnecessary items so that we can fit into culture and give this illusion that we are all doing well. The next negative effect of TikTok is addiction. The algorithm is designed to satisfy your needs and your desires in order to be entertained and stay in the TikTok app for as long as possible. However, at what cost? That we are spending the limited time we have of our lives after work, after school, consuming media. Rather than being present with our loved ones or taking care of our mental health, our physical and spiritual health, we have individuals on this app posting every second of their day. We have people that are recording intimate and private moments for content. There are people on this app recording strangers for views. There were people on this app making decisions based on what the majority of people were doing on TikTok so they could fit in. At what point do we say, okay, that's enough. I need to live life more for me? At what point do we stop living a life for show and a life that we can actually enjoy? At the end of the day, consuming this amount of media and being on a screen for so many hours is not healthy and it's not okay. And remember, who does this affect? It affects us. There are billionaires who themselves have created technology or social media apps and have admitted to not allowing their children to consume their own creations because they know that the short and long-term effects can be devastating. Yet they allow the majority of people in society to consume these things. So those are things I really want you guys to pay attention to, that it doesn't add up. The last negative effect that I want to highlight that TikTok has brought is an increase of selfishness and greed. We can see on apps like TikTok the extent that many people are willing to go in order to become viral and earn money. I saw individuals on TikTok exposing their bodies in inappropriate ways in order to get views. And this can range from someone really young to someone really older, and range to someone who's a lot older. People are not afraid of embarrassing themselves publicly for money and fame. Some people are so willing to hurt others or themselves to get the attention they desperately desire and crave. It does get to a very scary point where as a viewer, you can see an influencer lose themselves throughout the years as their selfishness and greed grows. People are willing to break their morals, values, and true identity if that means money and fame. The materialistic things in our society are not permanent, so when all of this is gone, and all that we have is ourselves, then what? Here are some of my takeaways from this whole TikTok ban situation. The fallout of the TikTok ban has begun. There has been so many different discussions that are occurring right now on other platforms such as Twitter, X, and Instagram. In fact, right now that I'm making this video, I think there's a possibility that TikTok could be back up and running. But there are some people who quit their jobs to fully invest their time and energy to be content creators on TikTok, and now they essentially have been laid off. This is a real heartbreak for many Americans who now have lost their jobs. I have seen discussions on social media of people laughing and enjoying that these content creators have to go back to work to a 9-to-5 job. But what people seem to not understand is that this will only affect the middle and lower class ordinary people who got an opportunity and now it was snatched from them. There were several, celebrities and influencers on TikTok that will be just fine regardless if that app is there or not, because they already have had wealth. Either some of them already came from privilege and have wealth, or they have a mass following in other platforms. The damage has been done, and I'm not sure what will be unfolding. So regardless if TikTok comes back or not, there is something to say about all of this chaos that occurred after deleting TikTok and the conversations that were being had on the very last moments of the app. What I do want us to understand is that many issues in our society are always tied to social class and marginalized groups. If we are divided and pitted against one another, it will be the benefit of the higher ups, which is a bigger entity that we may not even comprehend. As media consumers, we have to be skeptical on every platform of what information is being sold to us. We have to utilize our time and resources wisely. We have to focus on the small communities around us and foster love within those spaces. There are bigger issues way out of control. What we do have control over is our minds, our thoughts, and what we leave behind. So make sure you do everything with love and remind yourself that you are the exception. The world may be broken, but that does not mean that you and I are too. There's so much to be said about this TikTok ban because this experience goes far beyond a social media app being deleted. It's truly a wake-up call for us to be critical and analytical of who we decide to give power to. Alright guys, that's all I wanted to discuss in this video. There's so much more I would have liked to cover, but now this is an opportunity for us to have a dialogue in the comments below. So what are your thoughts and perspective on the TikTok ban, on the fallout out TikTok, and what do you think this means for our country and our society as a whole? Let me know in the comments below, and I appreciate you so much for watching this video. Bye everyone! If you're staying here, this is some extra content just for the viewer that stayed, this long in the video. I just want to say that right now, as I'm speaking, I am aware that TikTok is back up and running. I myself am always a little skeptical of things. There are certain conspiracy theories that I also tend to believe in or question. But I do want to say that this doesn't take away from the fact that all of my points, I think, hold a lot of value. And I do think it is very suspicious that it was deleted and back again. And I don't know what kind of behind the scenes influence was happening, behind the scenes. So I'm not really sure what this means. If you're wondering if I'm going to use TikTok, I absolutely love TikTok, but I think I am going to delete it and keep it that way. And the reason why is because I have been reflecting a lot on its influence on me. And like I mentioned to you all, I'm the type of person that I question, right? As a media consumer, what am I absorbing and how is this affecting me in every single way, shape, or form? And I do want to start being more creative on YouTube just because I do think it challenges me more to make videos, to think about ideas, and just try to get better at it. So for me, that's a goodbye. I'm choosing to leave TikTok behind in 2024, and I'm choosing to focus on other ideas that I have and other content that I want to start developing. So that's just my thoughts. I'm open to any perspective on the comments below. I'm always learning and growing, so what I'm sharing is just my perspective for now. And there was still so much that I wish I could cover, but I wanted to be mindful of the time. So those are just my thoughts, and I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. And thank you so much for watching this video. I think this is something that I was very passionate about just because it does affect me and my generation, because this is an app that we were all addicted to, and I think it's important to reflect on what the bigger message was here. So thank you guys for watching.